We're getting the world's largest artificial reef. Where is it and what will you need to know to dive it? Let's dive in and find out. Ladies and gents, welcome back to Tampa Bay Diving. My name is Blake and I'm a professional recreational scuba diving instructor and digital content creator. And I make these videos with the sole purpose to improve your dives. So Florida, which has hundreds of wrecks for you to explore, is getting the newest and biggest wreck ever, the SS United States, up in the Panhandle. So naturally, in anticipation of this new addition, I thought it would be valuable to give you some history of the ship, but stick around till the end of the video because we'll also be discussing what you'll need to know to dive this fabulous new shipwreck. The SS United States, a 1,000-foot vessel that shattered the transatlantic speed record on its maiden voyage in 1952, arrived early in Mobile, Alabama, nearly 2 weeks after departing from South Philadelphia. Last fall, in 2024, Okaloosa County bought the ship to sink her and create the world's largest artificial reef. For those who don't know, an artificial reef is a man-made structure that's placed in the ocean to create a habitat for marine life, i.e. a ship, and the whole coastline of Florida is covered with them. The SS United States is a retired ocean liner that was built between 1950 and 1951 for United States lines. She is the largest ocean liner to be entirely constructed in the United States and the fastest ocean liner to cross the Atlantic Ocean in either direction. Christened in 1952, she made her maiden voyage from July 3rd to 7th, 1952, and broke the eastbound transatlantic speed record that had been held by the RMS Queen Mary for the previous 14 years by more than 10 hours, making the crossing from New York Harbor to Bishop Rock off of Cornwall, United Kingdom in 3 days, 10 hours, and 40 minutes at an average speed of 35 knots. As if that weren't enough, on her return voyage to the United States, she also broke the westbound transatlantic speed record, which was also held by the Queen Mary, by returning to America in 3 days, 12 hours, and 12 minutes at an average speed of 34 knots. Leave it to us Americans to want to be the best. Ship conservationists had hoped that she would be saved and redeveloped into an attraction similar to the Queen Mary, which is docked in Long Beach, California. The Queen Mary is actually now a nice hotel, restaurant, and event venue. And if you're ever out in Long Beach, I highly recommend that you check her out. They actually do a pretty cool Halloween event where she becomes kind of like a haunted ship. So where will the SS United States' final resting place be? It seems only fitting that the SS United States will be sunk in the Gulf of America. It's currently docked in Mobile, Alabama, and it'll be more than likely there for about a year. Before she is sunk in the Gulf waters, all of the environmentally unsafe materials will be removed. This includes all non-metal items like wiring and fuel. She will have holes strategically cut around the ship to ensure that she lands upright as she is submerged, and passages will also be opened, allowing for marine life to thrive in and around the ship, and obviously ones for divers. She is set to be laid to rest off the coast of Destin, Fort Walton Beach. And the entire process will, like I said, take approximately a year to complete. Currently, she is set to be sunk sometime in 2026. Now, this will be quite the spectacular event if you're one of the lucky ones to witness it. The city will collaborate with the United States Navy and the Coast Guard to place charges strategically around her hull, and after they are detonated, she will slowly but surely make her way down to the seabed. I'm sure there will be videos of the event online. But what do divers need to know to plan their trip to dive this historic wreck? Hey guys, if you're enjoying this content or getting some educational value and want to learn more about scuba diving, then dive down, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and ring that dive bell. And if you'd like to go on an awesome dive vacation this summer, check out the link in our description for all of the info on our 2025 trip to Roatan. You'll get an all-inclusive stay with unlimited dives and will see some of the most beautiful coral reefs and wildlife in the world. After it's stripped of all its hazardous materials, the ship will be sunk in under about 180 feet of water, about 20 miles off the coast of Destin, Florida. So what does this mean for recreational and technical divers? Well, The ship will be sunk upright in a similar fashion that the USS Oriskany was. That means that recreational divers will be able to explore the upper structure and technical divers will be able to reach the depths and see the whole ship. It's not clear yet how much of the ship recreational divers will be able to explore, so in order for you to see the most possible, I would recommend that you start working towards your advanced certification with an emphasis on the specialty courses of wreck and deep diving. Obviously, this is a shipwreck, and quite a big one, so it will be deep. If you're a new diver or have been diving for a bit but haven't gotten that far yet, then this is the perfect time to start planning and getting ahead. I'd also, if you can, get a DPV and get trained on how to use it, because a wreck this size is definitely not doable in just one dive. In order to allow yourself to see as much of the ship as possible, a dive propulsion vehicle is a must. Whether you're a technical diver or recreational diving, they will come in handy and make your experience more enjoyable. Another thing is that sometimes, depending on weather and conditions and tidal changes, that part of the Gulf can get some pretty strong currents, and it would be wise to seek out advanced training and possibly drift diving. Now, an added bonus with wrecks is that they make convenient homes for an abundance of fish, and this one will house a lot of them and some very, very decent sized ones. If you're a spear fisherman or have wanted to get into it, then there isn't a better time. Not only will you get to dive a wreck with incredible history, but you'll also be able to take home a delicious fresh seafood dinner as well. Take some time to take a spearfishing course, get familiar with the gear, and remember to be safe. Also, like the Oriskany, because it's going to be a long boat ride out to the ship, there's a greater chance of canceled dives. If conditions aren't favorable, meaning weather and chop, then boats won't be able to make it out there. When the chop is too high, then it takes more fuel than possible to get to the dive sites. So I would recommend giving yourself a few days in the area, because more than likely, weather will be bad for one or more of those days. It's happened to me multiple times, time and time again, so give yourself about 4 days. Odds are one of them will be good unless there was a hurricane. Well, what about the area? Destin, Fort Walton Beach is a popular tourist destination, and placing the SS United States there is going to create an interesting tourist attraction along with multiple other ones in the area. Kind of like a Florida big wreck trail in the Panhandle. We've already got the aircraft carrier, the Oriskany, off the coast of Pensacola, and this ship will just be about an hour east of it. Just a little further east, you've got one of the most beautiful areas in Santa Rosa Beach and Panama City Beach, all of which offer great diving opportunities and amazing activities. Now, this is my plan of action after the ship is sunk. I'm aiming to make a trip up north starting in Pensacola, dive the Oriskany, from there head on over to Destin and see this amazing new wreck before it's covered in coral. Then I'll stay a couple of days in Santa Rosa, which is, in my opinion, the most beautiful city in northern Florida. If you haven't explored 38, then you're missing out on some great restaurants and culture, including the best donut shop I've ever been to. Finally, I'll stop in Panama City, see some friends, and get some good dives in. And if all goes to plan, it should be a memorable dive trip. If you found this information helpful and enjoyed the video, then dive down, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and ring that dive bell. And don't forget, if you want a fabulous dive trip this summer, head on over to our website at tampabaydiving.com, click on travel, and learn all about the trip this summer to Roatan. It's an all-inclusive with unlimited diving, and if you're not a diver yet, no worries. We can certify you there in this beautiful Caribbean paradise. All links are down in the description, and just over here, YouTube thinks you're really gonna love this video. So check it out, watch it, and help us continue to grow the channel. I'll be back next week with another video, but until then, plan your dive and dive your plan.